Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jason Donnelly. It's my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Shout out to Dream, expert Minecrafter, Minecraft fans, Dream fans, Minecraft players all over the world. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in and for watching, because today I have something really special for you. It has come to my attention that Dream has been using one of my songs in his speedruns, which is totally cool. Thank you, Dream. So because of that, I'm getting a lot of people reaching out to me asking about the track. And so what I decided to do was give you an insider, behind the scenes breakdown of the song and how I made it in my DAW here in the studio. So I will play that for you once without talking. And then afterwards, if you want to stick around, I'll bring the camera closer to the screen and we'll do like a track by track breakdown and talk about the different instruments and things that I used for inspiration and how I came up with the song Action Preparation. So without further ado, here it is. So there you have it. Action preparation in all its glory. Recorded in Cubase. Actually, I did this in a previous version of Cubase, but this is now Cubase version 10. Because I did write this song, I think back in 2014, so it would have been 6 years ago. So anyway, just wanted to say one thing before I take the camera and move it closer to the screen so you can see what's going on. One of the synths that I used, probably mainly the only synth that I used in this track, is this one you see here, the Axis Virus TI2. I used that for the sort of ethereal, atmospheric, vocally kind of drones that you hear in there, and also the pulsating bass, synth bass stuff. So that's like one of the key ingredients when creating a tension cue. That's what we call it in the industry. It's a tension cue, and I always start with a pulsating bass. That's kind of the heartbeat of the track. You're going to hear that in pretty much almost every tension cue at some point, unless it's just kind of more of a background, trippy, eerie thing happening. But you can layer the two, and boom, you've got something like this. So that's what's going on synth-wise. And then with drums, used a lot of virtual drum sounds, some big percussion, and also some kind of reverse effects, cymbals, stuff like that, and risers. And we'll talk about all that. I'm going to bring the camera in and show you guys what instruments I chose and what we did there. All right, so stay tuned. All right. What do we have here? Okay, so we're looking at four. Now it's really simple. 4 groupings. So basically what I did was I loaded this project from 2013, I think. That's when I wrote this. And it did not want to load. It's such an old song. The files were on like different drives and stuff. So thankfully, after about an hour of searching and finding, maybe even 2 hours of searching for project files and stuff like that, I got it to load. I did this in a previous, like an earlier version of Cubase. This is Cubase 10. So with that said, when I did actually get everything to load, I went ahead and organized it too because, well, I wasn't very organized when I made this. So what I managed to do was get it into 4 different instrument type groupings. I know, really simple, right? But see, that's kind of the thing when you're writing a tension cue, is that you want to, or at least in this case, I wanted to create something that wasn't exactly going to take the main stage, more like a background kind of atmosphere to create that tension in the background. And so, you keep it kind of simple. So with that said, let's have a look at the drum grouping first. And you'll see here I've got all these tracks layered. If you see these little dots, it's MIDI information, so they're not actual waveforms. I didn't record anything in there except for MIDI. And that means that I have like a VST running, right? So in this case, for all these, I used an instrument called Storm Drum by East West. Okay. All right, so for that one, I used Dynasty O Daiko, whatever, D-A-I-K-O. I think that's how you pronounce that drum. And so that's that track. And I stacked them here. I've got another one. In this case, we used Earthquake Ensemble. Just to give you an idea. And Big Toms, I labeled it Big Toms. This one is Octopus. Oh, no, this is another Earthquake Ensemble. And then here's Big Toms 2. And that's Octopus Toms. Okay. And so Storm Drum 2, it's a great instrument. And here, High Perk. This one's pretty cool. It's kind of like, almost has like a metallic sound, but it's not. It's more, it's here called it's an Aboriginal percussion set. So it's probably like kind of wood. kind of wood clanky things, but I put a lot of reverb on it. And so I have a snare drum and a kick drum layered over this main groove that I created here. As you can see, this one is a waveform. So I actually created that in a different session. I wanted to play something in with my fingers live to make it sound like a real acoustic kit, but then I wanted to like really squash it and compress it and give it a little saturation. So I did all that in more of like a sound design session, and then I bounced that down and brought it into this project. So you see it here, right here. And then I layered another snare on the top and a kick that kind of goes through the whole track. So let's have a listen. I'm going to isolate the drums, and this is what they sound like. Okay, so, and then you can see here just the MIDI hits. I'm going to close that window. And it's a little empty, right? A little minimal. But skip over here now, you've got the kind of John Bonham, kind of Led Zeppelin beat that I was going for. All right. So that's the drums. So let's go down to the synth track now. The synths, like I said earlier, you'll see this is all audio. So I recorded all the audio from my synthesizer here. This is an Axis TI2, and it's sort of my go-to, kind of like my, what I would call the Swiss Army knife of synths. It's really easy to dial in, to find and dial in exactly what you need. And in my industry, a lot of times you don't have time to sit and design and spend a lot of time designing. You just kind of want to write a song real quick and get it done. And, you know, we do a lot of sound design, don't get me wrong, when there's time permits, or if that's the actual gig. But in this particular case, I was able to find some sounds, some presets that I could just simply tweak with the filter and the reverb to get what I was looking for. So the TI2, man, Axis Virus, it's a great synth. So you'll hear I've got like kind of like a drone swell on this track, and then this haunting, ethereal kind of vocal drone thing in the background. You know, that creates that kind of scary tone. And then there's an arpeggiator. Okay. TI2 is great. It's a great arpeggiator. There's a lower one and a higher one. Here's the high melody and the low melody. And there's only a few notes. It's very simple. That was the idea. And then over here, I added another swell, a vocal drone. I mean, sorry, but it's swelling. It had some kind of effect in it. And then there's like a pitch bend at the end to give it that kind of eerie vibe. All right, and then moving on, let's go to the bass section. Now here is the heart. This is the heartbeat of every tension song, is that pulsating bass, the signature pulsating bass. You can do different rhythms, but you want that to kind of create that pulsating kind of heartbeat sound to sort of give things movement, so that you feel like there's something's about to happen. There's some action taking place. And then I added this perk bass sound. It's got kind of a clicky attack on it to give it more of kind of a percussive effect. Okay, and then moving on to the SFX, and this is like the reverse swells, the risers, and reverse cymbals. So you'll hear kind of ambient right? So you got all that going on. So here is another TI2 track. You can see I got the waveforms. I played that in. And then over here, we're using Storm Drum 2 again. It has really great sound effects. Over here, you'll see there is a riser and a cymbal swell right before the main beat, that big drum beat drops. Right there, okay? So there it is, pretty much in a nutshell. There's my song, Action Preparation. And hey, if you made it through, you watched this whole video and you made it through this far, I commend you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification if you're into this sort of thing, because I write a lot of music. I write music for TV and video games as well. Some of my attention cues are in like a show called Wicked Tuna, and I think I had some in Shark Week and MTV's Catfish. I know, a little embarrassed about that, but it's money. And if you're a gamer and you played Tom Clancy's The Division, my song, Close Encounters, is the theme song during the Ray Barrett battle, the boss battle. It's really cool. And I got a bunch of stuff in Saints Row and a bunch of other games. So yeah, please subscribe if you're interested. And I do all kinds of content, music creation and sound design stuff, and just basically me just getting crazy pieces of gear and noodling around. So if that's your thing and you want to see more, subscribe. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. Shout out to Dream, all you Minecrafters out there kicking ass. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.